Hi girls, good morning and welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I'm so excited to share with you some simple habits and tactics that you can use to have a stress-free mom life. Now, as I say that, obviously, there's absolutely no way to remove all of life's stress, but these simple tips and tricks that I'm gonna share with you today can absolutely stack the deck in your favor. So as you would have already seen this morning, I've had my lemon ginger tonic and now I'm drinking my first protein coffee of the day. Those are two of my forever and always habits that you can utilize to ensure that you feel your absolute best. So I will have a video linked for you in the description box down below. One for how to make the lemon ginger tonic and two for the protein coffee. But when you can start your morning off a little bit before your kids wake up in the morning, I actually just posted an Instagram reel today when I'm filming this video of a healthy mom dopamine menu. I will have that here on the screen, but I swear having these little dopamine hits throughout your day in a healthy capacity helps tremendously. But when we wake up in the morning and we flush out all of the toxins that our body has worked so hard to do overnight, to really flush out that bile, to wake up the digestive system and to start your morning with the lemon ginger tonic, it's one of the best ways to really boost up your system and give you that quick jolt awake. And then if you're going to be drinking caffeine, but you could absolutely do this with like a chai tea, that would be delicious as well. But if you're going to be drinking coffee, you might as well habit stack and make it one of my protein coffees. So my protein coffee recipe is absolutely taken off, and that's because we are cramming in 35 grams of protein as well as gut healing anti-inflammatory nutrients through the gelatin, the collagen, and the fiber, as well as a little bit of bone broth protein powder. And so when we can utilize these nutrients and these habit stacks first thing in the morning, one, your blood sugar will be stabilized. Two, you've helped your body's detoxification system, which in turn helps stabilize our hormones, and stabilized hormones lead to a better, more stable mood. And so I'm not sure about you, but if I find myself on an insulin roller coaster, I tend to be more stressed. I tend to be more hyper reactive to situations. Maybe we overslept a little bit, or maybe one of your children wants to change their outfits 5 times in the morning because something doesn't feel right. I'm less reactive to those situations when I use these anti-stress techniques. So I want to encourage you to habit stack in the morning with simple things like the lemon ginger tonic and then jump into your protein coffee. And that will help you really stabilize the mood and the energy first thing in the morning. the viewfinder, this lip is very aggressive, but we're just gonna go with it. It's a new lip stain, and I don't know, I felt like it would be pretty with this color, but now that I'm seeing it here on camera, it is quite bright. So one of the rituals every single morning that is an absolute non-negotiable for me, especially right now in the fall season, is opening up the windows and doing a morning cleaning session. So after I get the kids on the bus, typically while I'm drinking and enjoying my protein coffee, I go through the entire house and I do. Typically it takes me about 20 minutes, but sometimes it's like 45 minutes depending on the morning we've had or what we had going on the night prior. But I like to do a full reset sweep. And so having this reset for me, because my mood is so impacted by my space, that doing this sweep is so helpful for the level of stress throughout my day and the level of stress that I feel in my body as I go about my day. If I walk around my house and I see clothes everywhere, blankets unfolded, water glasses from breakfast, or dishes left on the counter or on the table, it's hard for me, one, to relax, and two, to get into a creative space or to be able to sit down and really do highly concentrated, focused work, which I need to do, and I need to cram it in a really short period of time when the kids are at school. So I like to pop on a podcast or listen to an audiobook. By the way, let me know which audiobooks that you're listening to, because I think I have 3 or 4 Audible credits right now because I've been enjoying so many of my fall reads, my cozy fall reads. I haven't been listening to as many books lately, so let me know in the comment section down below what you think I should use my Audible credits on. But I either listen to a podcast or an audiobook, which is helpful for your dopamine menu. So I do that and I do an entire sweep of the house. And then it's kind of like spraying perfume, because throughout the day, you get like a little whiff and a little hint of your work, the fruits of your labor. So when I go into the office, I get started on client work or email responses, or I jump on a Zoom call and I need to pop back out to get more hot water for my tea or to refill my coffee or to take my morning supplements. I look around and my space is open, clean, and clear. And again, it's like that whiff of perfume. I'm reminded of, oh my gosh, this feels so nice. I'm able to jump back into the office and I don't carry around that mental clutter. So I feel like having a morning ritual that includes some level of resetting and clearing your space, whether you're working from home, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, or you work outside of the house, is so helpful because it does continue to serve you throughout the day, and it helps to reduce the overall stress when your space is open, clean, and clear. Okay, so this is the lip stain that I had just put on, and while I think it is so beautiful, I feel like it's a bit much, and I'm about to go out on a walk because one of my favorite rituals to reduce stress and to make you feel more centered and calm is to get outdoors and to get your steps in. If you are a subscriber of my channel, if you're not, I would love to have you join the community. You can go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. If you're a subscriber of my channel, then you know every single day I like to hit 12K steps per day. I measure with my Oura Ring. I don't want to bring it close to the camera because my microphone will always give me feedback whenever I put it close to the camera, but I measure my steps on my Oura Ring, and honest to goodness, getting in 12K steps per day is a life-changing hack. Truly such a life-changing hack, ritual, whatever you want to call it, but it will ultimately change your entire outlook. And now it is a little bit chilly today, to be honest with you. The temperature has dramatically dropped here in the Midwest, but I am taking myself outside on a walk here in a little bit. But before we do that, I was like, this lip feels a little bit aggressive. It has kind of wiped off because I made some tea, but I was thinking it feels a little bit aggressive to go out on a walk at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm actually going to be using the Primally Pure Everything Balm to take this off. I have been using this on absolutely everything. So if you girls know, I'm on my glow up to 40. I am 40 now, but over the past year, I was on my glow up to 40. We are on a big tretinoin journey, still on the tretinoin journey. And I love to put a little bit of castor oil on my skin underneath the tretinoin, just kind of do the sandwich method. And then I was using my tretinoin and putting more castor oil on. But I felt like it was almost a little bit too slippery sometimes, like it wasn't drying down fast enough. And in the summertime, that was okay because I had like a full hour after my shower before I would go to bed. But now that we're getting home late from fall sports, from soccer practices, things of that nature, I'm showering a little bit later in the day. And so I find that I need it to dry down a little bit sooner. So I'm still doing the castor oil first on my skin, then I'm putting on the tretinoin, and then I've been adding in the Everything Balm on top of that from Primally Pure. I do have a discount code. I will go ahead and include that in the description box down below. But I'm just going to be using a little bit of this Everything Balm to take off this lip, which is so, you know what, like now that I'm up here standing in front of this window, it doesn't look as bright on the viewfinder, but I promise you it is really bright. And I'm just like, this might not be the vibe for, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, trying to get my steps in. So I'm just using a little bit of this, which is nice because I do tend to use the Everything Balm on my lips before bed. It's just like a great nourishing with a little bit of that castor oil. And with the castor oil, I was putting it on my lips. But then when we go to mouth tape, it's like a whole thing. Like we really have to think through our days and plan wisely because the castor oil, like my mouth tape was slipping off. And I was like, dang it, this is like defeating the purpose. So I find that the Everything Balm keeps my lips nourished. And then at the same time, it dries down enough where I can still do my mouth taping. I mean, what it takes to be a girl, I swear to you. So I will have this linked for you girls in the description box down below, as well as this lip oil. I will say it is very pretty. I just, felt like it was a bit much to go out and get my steps in, which we are definitely going to do here in a second. But before we get our steps in, I do need to take my afternoon supplements because that is so important when we're talking stress reduction. Ensuring that we're filling in our nutrient gaps is critical. It is absolutely critical. We cannot expect our bodies to perform at optimal or peak performance if we are lacking major nutrient groups. We just can't have these expectations of our bodies. So I want to take my supplements before we head out and get some steps in, and stacking these rituals on top of each other is honestly chef's kiss because you're feeling calm and cozy in your clean space. We're getting in our movement. We're filling in those nutrient gaps, and then we end the day in a really beautiful way as well. But I'm telling you, just these little teeny tiny habits that don't take an extreme amount of time make a tremendous impact. So before we get our steps in, I'm going to be taking one of my gem bites. So I shared gem with you girls 2 weeks ago, and I had mentioned that I've been taking gem for the last few weeks, and I'm absolutely loving this product. Aside from the delicious taste of gem, I love the fact that you're getting in real whole food ingredients in the form of a multivitamin. When we are able to cram in a ton of nutrition from whole food sources, it creates a beautiful synergistic effect within the body. with 20 plus nutrients combined and paired perfectly in a whole food source. It's so simple and easy for your body to assimilate and absorb these nutrients. I always say, sure, we are what we eat, but more than anything, we are what we absorb. And I know that pills and powders aren't for everybody. That's why including something like Gem, a beautiful bite-sized form, is a wonderful way to get in your nutrients. The first thing I noticed when I started including Gem in my afternoons was the instant energy boost. Within the first 2 days of taking Gem, I was like, I do feel a little bit of a boost here in the afternoon, which is something I'm always looking for as a busy working mom. In addition to that, I have to say about 10 to 14 days in, I started to notice a subtle, beautiful glow coming from within my skin. And because Gem is packed with pre and probiotics, it's incredible for your digestive system. And so when we can bring in these really beautiful anti-inflammatory nutrients like turmeric and citrus, these things work in congruence with our body and with our metabolism. So I noticed right away that instant energy boost. And then because it does include nutrients like zinc from the pumpkin seeds, vitamin K2 from your chickpeas, what this does is it works congruently together in our body to give your skin that extra boost and glow. Aside from the skin boosting ingredients, there are also nutrients in here that are amazing for our mood, our cognitive health, and all of those things when we talk about stress-free living and rituals to help us feel reduced stress. First and foremost, I always say it starts in the digestive system. When we have a healthy gut, it positively impacts our serotonin levels. And when we have healthy, happy serotonin levels, then we have healthy, happy hormone health. And so these things are really important when we're talking about reducing stress in our day-to-day lives. And aside from all of that, if you're a lemon ginger tonic girly, which I know many of you are if you're a subscriber of my channel, you will absolutely love the taste of the Gem Bites. The second I open the package, I can smell it and I honestly start salivating. Like I can feel my mouth begin to salivate because of the smell. I love the taste so much. I do my best to eat these before the kids get home because otherwise they're like, I want one of those snacks. I want one of those. And so here's the thing with the Gem Bites is that you know that you're getting real food sources of vitamins, minerals, and essential nutrients into your daily routine by just having one Gem Bite. So I like to do this with either a tea or a sparkly mineral water. That's like the perfect little treat and pick me up. I enjoy my Gem Bite, then I do a quick sweep of the kitchen, make sure everything is clean and clear before the kids get home, and then I get my steps in. And you wanna talk about stress reduction, having these little routines that you look forward to, something that is just for you, even if it's something that takes 5 minutes, truly enjoying my Gem Bite, enjoying a little sip of tea or a sparkling water, doing a quick sweep of the kitchen before getting my steps in is something that's just for me. And this helps to, of course, stabilize my response to stress. It makes me feel as though I filled my cup before I fill everybody else's cup. So I would highly encourage you to unique ways that fill up your cup and things that help you feel more stabilized, and including something like Gem Bites is a beautiful way to do that. So the wonderful news is that if you use my link and my code in the description box down below, as well as the first pinned comment, you can save 50% on your first month of Gem Bites. And I know that once you give these a try, you're going to absolutely love them. steps in, I should grab my phone and take a peek. I will put it here on the screen where my current steps are at. My phone is over there charging, but it felt really good. It is so beautiful outside. Like, it's definitely crisp, cool air, but we have been having like a week and a half of beautiful days, and I'm so grateful, and I'm embracing every single one of them the best that I can, because I know the snow is coming. I know the cold is coming, but while it is here, I'm doing my best to take advantage of every single minute of it. So now that I've gotten my steps in, I am going to be drinking a little bit of mineral water, or you could just do regular water and put a little bit of mineral salt underneath your tongue, hold that for 30 seconds, and then drink your water to properly hydrate. Staying hydrated, kind of like the gem bites, right? Like, those essential nutrients are so important, because we can't ask our car, for example, to drive across the country or to go on a road trip in need of an oil change. I really want us to think of our bodies from that standpoint, because when you can put something that you can really be analytical about, like, yeah, if my gas is on empty, obviously I can't drive 145 miles when I have 5 miles till empty. And so similarly to filling in the essential nutrients, it is so important when we're talking about combating stress. It is so important for us to stay fully hydrated throughout the day. And oftentimes those extreme feelings of fatigue, then we reach for more caffeine, and more caffeine can induce anxiety and stress. And all of these things kind of compound together. And all of a sudden we feel like a different version of ourselves. We feel maxed out and super stressed, and we're unsure why. So little simple changes make such a huge difference. And I know on my channel, I talk about these really simple shifts when we're covering complex health topics. And I don't mean to dilute or undervalue the complexity of many of the health conditions I treat in my practice, because believe you me, I see them every single day. However, with that being said, I do want to say that oftentimes when we start implementing the tips and tricks we've been covering today, we can make major strides in the right direction. Oftentimes, many of the girls that I work with in my practice, or so many of the girls inside of my membership site, Living Well, which, by the way, currently there is a very special offer of a 14-day free trial, a completely free 14-day trial. So I will have that link for you in the description box as well. If you want to get started with Living Well, now is the time to do so, because you can give this thing a test drive for 14 days, and I promise you, you're going to be completely blown away. But so many of the girls inside Living Well and in my one-on-one practice see that when we get our sleep in a really good spot, our hydration, our strategic supplementation, when we start to really pull these levers, it can help tremendously. So I don't want us to undervalue this really strong foundation, because I know getting outside and having these nutrients and hydrating our body, it seems so basic, but you would be shocked how oftentimes when we are stressed, we are overworked, and we're running around, we forget the basics. That's the first thing to go. Like, oh yeah, I can stay up a little bit later and make up for this, or I can wake up a little bit earlier and crank out that work. Speaking to myself here, but it's really this foundation that helps us long term to be more productive and to not feel stressed out when we're doing so. I've just made a lemon balm tea, which is one of my favorite ways to start the evening unwind. And on the days, or I should say the nights, that we don't have soccer practice, which there are only 2 nights per week that we don't have late night soccer practice, but on those nights, I like to come upstairs and take a shower before dinner. And this is honestly something I so look forward to, because having this evening unwind where I don't feel rushed as soon as we get at the door after soccer, getting the kids showered, feeding them their second dinner, getting them to bed, doing the cleanup, and then finally at like 9:30, 9:45, I'm hopping into the shower. And there are many nights that are like that, because that's just the season of life that I'm in. But right now, on a night like tonight, when it's 5:45 and I can hop into the shower, I can start to sip on my tea, and then I have dinner literally literally right now already completely cooked. I just have it set to low, and Kaya is downstairs with the kids. They're not downstairs by themselves, but I just have it set to low. I pop upstairs, I take my shower, then I can put a face mask on, or I can lather my face with the Primally Pure Everything Balm. I will have both of those linked for you in the description box down below. And on a night like tonight, when I'm not rushing to bed, I can put my castor oil on my skin because it will dry down by the time I go to sleep. So on nights like tonight, I love to unwind slowly. So I've made my tea, I'll hop in the shower. It's not like a hair wash night, so it's just like a quick shower. So my tea will still be hot by the time I get out. I'll put on my skincare, I'll put on my DIY body soothing oil. And then when I get into bed, I'll continue to read my book a little bit tonight. And just having these really beautiful, simple, very simple habits and rituals are so important because one, they don't seem overwhelming or intimidating. Two, they really don't take an abundance of effort. For me to come up here at 5:45 and sneak away for 15 minutes and to put on this skincare or to put on this face mask and to slather on my DIY body soothing oil, like that is a very low effort thing. To heat up the kettle, to make myself a little lemon balm tea, that is extremely low effort. Then after that, I will sweep up the kitchen. I'll do a clean and a sweep after dinner. I'll pop on some relaxing essential oils. I'll have all the lights dimmed. And all of this is ultimately part of my bedtime routine, even though it's 5:45 at night. I feel like I have a newborn again when I'm talking through this. But on these few nights that I can do this, and even on nights when I can't, I still always have an evening routine. I always take a nighttime shower. I always have a tea. I take my evening supplements. I do my navel oiling, which I will have those recipes linked for you in the description box down below. I still always do those things, but it's just in a condensed period of time. So things definitely shift and change, but a super simple habit that you can include to induce these stress-free rituals is to have a solid evening routine. I would encourage you to have a shower, to have our DIY skin smoothing oil, to pop this on your skin after you get out of the shower, and then also to do your navel oiling. I just encourage you to bring in these little things. We made this DIY. Our navel oiling, we made this DIY. A relaxing tea and a shower. This is low hanging fruit, and always want to encourage you girls to get back to the basics as well. As moms, life can pull us in a million different directions, and when we can come back to these really simple, basic rituals that help us feel less stressed, that's when life is fun. I truly just love when we can celebrate these wins, these foundational wins together. So I hope that you girls enjoyed today's video, and be sure to check out my link in the first pinned comment and the description box down below to claim 50% off your first month of Gem Bites. So be sure to check out that link as well as that first pinned comment. And if you like today's video, you can let me know by giving it a big thumbs up, and now the subscribe button is right over here on the screen. Give that a click, that way you don't miss a single video, and I hope to see you back here next Thursday.